Alrighty, good evening, everyone, and welcome to some Division A East matchup here tonight. We have a good one for everybody here tonight. We have Baby on board taking on Sky5, and with me is the healer main himself, Punisher. Buddy, how you doing this evening?
Dax, how are you today?
I am doing well. I am super excited to get into these games. I will let them know. And let them know we've got a couple things to cover here. But no, I am doing well. I'm excited to get into this one. Both teams look like they are ready, so we don't want to hold them up. But let's see where we are and how we got here. So taking a look at the map bans here, we had Baby on board did lose the coin flip being the home team. Sky5 opted for first hero pick. And I didn't plug it in there because I am a great caster. So I will do that live while we are doing this. But Baby on board, yeah, that's all right. So Baby on board went ahead and banned Garden of Terror and the Dragonshire at the same time that Sky5, which I'm leaning towards them, went ahead, banned Brax's Holdout and Tomb of the Spider Queen. And then All Track Pass did get chosen by the side of Baby on board. So that's where we are. That's where we're heading. And we're going to head into this here just in just a quick second, but I'll take a peek here at the standings of the division. We have a fantastic matchup here for you lined up. So Sky5 currently sitting in second place with 14 points on the season overall, and Baby on board right on their tails with 12 points and sitting at third overall. So with a quick domination win, it'll actually put Baby on board into second place here. So looking forward to this matchup here tonight. And then since we had the healer main himself here, I put together this little stat sheet here for Punisher, just a quick little healer showcase, but just pulling some stats from the stats of the Storm piece of the NGS here, just showcasing both of these healers from both of these teams respectfully. So the highest average healing done by Kyberry so far this season was 73,889, and just below that is Allen by default at 73,058. Highest healing per minute, both relatively close again between these two, but the best win rate heroes. So Allen by default loves that Anduin, sitting 3 games played, 100% win rate. And I know you and I touched base a little bit with Kai Berries on that Lily, seeing a little bit of that rework here in the middle of this season, but 4 games played at 75% win rate. So this is really great healing numbers coming out from both these teams.
Yeah, no, it should be exciting. I think, at least to me, right? First off, let's just be clarify here. I'm not quite the healer main that Dax may admit I am here, just so everyone's aware of that. But no, what this looks like, is we potentially have some good drawn out fights here where we have a little bit of healing going on, and the numbers do suggest that we should be in for some good skirmishes here today, especially on these all-star pass starting off with a good map where you're going to see a lot of back and forth trading for objective there. So yeah, I'm excited. I love me that little panda. So hopefully Kai Berries can bring her out. I can witness some good stuff there. So
yeah, I would love to add her to our roster. She seems to be really good, especially into a double support style meta, which am a-okay just first picking Uther every single game if it were up to me. So,
yeah.
But yeah, to your point, this Ultrac Pass lends itself to some long, drawn-out, sustaining fights, the macro play, and it's really just about catching those soak and trying to stall out that objective. But I think the real objective of this map is the camp in that mid lane.
Oh, absolutely. Just back and forth right at 1 minute, and then right after that, just on cue, you're going to see a lot of pressure coming out from there, and a lot of the big heal will just be kind of controlling the mid lane, get a little bit of the towers out, and go from there, whittle it down.
Nasty. What's up with the background noise? I apologize. I'm in the basement. Just bought a new home. Didn't get walls set up down here yet, but my wife put me down here in the basement so she doesn't have to listen to me blab on about video games that she doesn't care about. So, a little background noise. It's probably just my furnace. Can't wait till summertime when that thing shuts off for a small amount of time. So it sounds like Punisher might be coming through to 2 channels, huh? That's strange.
Oh. Let me go ahead and I'll take a peek at Discord here and look at those settings because that's a thing sometimes.
Good old Discord.
Input. Let's go with that. And
listen, I've done that 1,000 times, Justin. I have 2 streams up, whether it's just the just the tab and then itself, but no, it could be me as well here. So let's just maybe I'll do that, and he should be fine. Test. Punisher. Let's see if that fixed Everything for people here.
Better here now. I adjusted stuff on my side as well, so hopefully the double team between Dax and I took care of that.
All right, so readies are coming out here, so we will be getting into my favorite part of the game here is the draft. I am wide awake now at this point. I know sometimes you just kind of draw through the draft, but I'm looking forward to this one. And I believe, at least for the side of Baby on Board, Cav Guest is the drafter. And I think he actually helps out with Team Oxygen as well, as we see the nameplate there in game here. So as we head into this right here. No, hey, I appreciate it. It's still just the finer tweaks and details because I had some mishaps last week where for the VODs the stream was fine, but in the VODs my co-caster voice was not coming through. Happened on 2 or 3 different occasions, so trying to tweak some things left or right on that situation. So getting rid of some software. I had the Twitch, whatever the Twitch music free type thing is. Looks like that was causing a bunch of problems in OBS, so got rid of that and tried to tweak a few things. So, but no, it's very much appreciated. Joustin, glad you're here, supporting these teams.
All right, perfect. So, yeah, all right. Well, Dax, you're our drafter, man. So what are you expecting here for bans off the get go?
I think first ban will be Tracer towards Mockery.
There he is.
Listen, that poor lad. Unless he has a Smurf, he doesn't get to play Tracer at all whatsoever. I do occasionally peep the stream where he does get to play Tracer. Very, very oppressive on that particular hero. And then, so coming out here, I didn't get a chance to scout these teams, just putting together some of the stats. The voice is low. All right. Well, I sat back here, but that is no problem at all whatsoever. I can turn my mic up. I can talk a little bit louder. I can move closer. That one is easy enough there, but thanks, Train, for that as well. So, Honor Band coming out really good at negating the heal, leading me to believe that maybe Kyberries wants to possibly go Alex Strasser here on this particular map.
Yeah, something get some heals out there, something that's a little bit more slow pass, maybe a Brightwing as well, without knowing your hero pool. You time that right, it's going to be a nice negate whoever she's teleporting in on.
All right, so Chromie ban coming out, good solid ban coming out there. I believe Mockery plays Chromie. It could be a Coffee as well. Coffee has a really good hero pool when it comes to the mages, loves the Kel'Thuzad, and a really good Alarak player as well. So second ban is going to come out here. There we go, Li Ming. So a lot of the stall and the poke is going to come out here. I wouldn't hate a first pick Junkrat here. I think he's really good on this map, especially with the Li Ming and the Chromie taken away.
Yeah, absolutely. No, like you mentioned, the name of the game is stall on this one, so you get right in the corner there, and Junkrat can just throw a quick, quick Q out, and we're sitting there waiting for the Q to start up again.
All right, and a quick Cassia. Now, like she got nerfed a little bit, and she kind of, it's off and on. I still like Cassia, but I like to go auto attack build with her versus Q build. Q build seems to be the way to go, but charge strikes is just one of my favorite talents. But there we go. They must have been listening to me, but we do see the Junkrat pick up here, and then Kyberry's going to go ahead and take the Uther. So that could be a quick pivot. Here later on, Uther can be swapped over to Cav Guest if need be, if the Alex Strasser pick is still hovering in the background there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Uther can still kind of fill that void, although not as good now, but it's still pretty good and decent at coming out with some big burst healing and playing a little bit of a main tank role if he needs to be.
Yep, absolutely. So there is that Anduin pickup from Alan by default, which we touched base on a little bit before the pre-draft here. And Liddell going to go ahead and take that Diva, which will be a pickup away from Kyle or Tarask here in game. Really good Diva player. And I expect them to probably ban away his Hogger as well, forcing him onto maybe something he's not too comfortable with. Not that he can't play other heroes, but right now his bread and butter seems to be the Diva and the Hogger. But we do see absolutely. The Blaze ban here. Third and final ban from a Baby on Board.
All right. So yeah, no, it's looking pretty exciting. Yeah, I think Hogger would be a good ban here, but leaving Sonya out on the board still, Dax. I'm a little bit curious about that since Sonya seems in a really good place right now.
All right, so it will be the Hanzo, so targeting another assassin from Mockery here. So they could do a Hammer comp. I know he plays a ton of Sergeant Hammer. More snowmen being abandoned. Shame. So there it is. There. Okay, so there is the Hogger, and then there is Sylvanas, one of my favorite heroes currently in the game. Love to play that hero. So Kavgas still holding that main tank. I know he's been known to run main tank Sonya, but could swap with, excuse me, Kyberries here for that Uther. So can't rule out double support.
Yeah.
All right. So they have looks like the makings of a pick comp coming out from the side of Sky5 here. So gonna go ahead and last pick the Johanna there, which is a great pick into that Garrosh. Is going to be able to eat a lot of those throws. And same thing with the Uther. I know Uther is said to counter Garrosh pretty well, especially if she goes D-shield, can D-shield whoever gets tossed. Can completely negate the throw as well. So I like both of these drafts coming out from both of these teams.
Yeah, definitely. The Johanna there definitely it feels like maybe a plan, but a nice counter to Garrosh. Also, the Tychus and Cassia too, with the blinds coming out, and even Diva. So a lot of good blind targets here to kind of help negate some of that auto attack damage that we'll see coming out on the anyone that gets unluckily thrown by the Garrosh there.
Yeah. So taking a look at these particular drafts, any leaning any side more than the other here?
I'm a fan of the Garrosh, kind of the blow-up comps. I know we've seen that style be played, Dax, on our team here. So I think if it comes down to a quick engage, I think that goes on this side of Sky5. But if we got a little longer, drawn-out fights, I think we're going to see that kind of maybe go towards Baby on board there.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into it here. Game number 1 on the left-hand side. For the blue team, we have Baby on board. We have Kavgest on the Johanna, Mockery on Sylvanas, Tarask on the Hogger, Kyberries on Uther, and Coffee on that Junkrat. And how about the right-hand side?
Yeah, on the right side, we got a Lydell on the Diva. We have Apple Mike on the Tychus, AG Silver, AG on the Garrosh. We have Alan by default on that Anduin, like we said. And then we have Pharrell on the Cassia.
Absolutely. So we do see 3 members of Sky5 heading down there, probably just anticipating the Sylvanas cheese, but they're just going to opt to go ahead and just make quick work of this this wave here mid and off to bigger and better things.
Yeah, absolutely. No, good rotations there, good camp clear, and or wave clear rather. We see that on the side of Baby on board there.
Alright, so we see Kavgas going to go ahead and come up here to the top lane. Wasn't sure how they were going to switch this, but looks like Diva is going to head directly to the camp as we see Mockery and Kyberries heading to the siege camp. So great camp timings from both these teams. Got to come out here. In comes the rotation onto Kavgas. The blind comes out to mount the Garrosh. No harm, no foul there. Taking a look at these level 1 talents, we do have the Hammer of the Lightbringer coming up on that Uther, so Kyberry's looking to get a lot of those stuns and that CC. It's already sitting at 18 stacks, well on her way. And then, because it's standard across the board, we see the block actually coming out from the Johanna, probably into the Tychus, and Overwhelming Affliction, my favorite level 1 talent on the Sylvanas, and looks like we've got Trap and Mind Build, or I'm sorry, Trap and Mind Build coming out, and yeah, Thunderstroke Quest as well coming out from the Cassia.
Absolutely, and yep, right on cue, we see those camps get cleared there really quick, but with Sylvanas, I think we'll see Baby on board try to push us in a little bit here, more so than we would usually see.
Absolutely, so here we go. The toss does go off to throw that camp over into the tower shot range, so they will make quick work of this, but I'm taking a peek up here in the top lane. Coffee does go ahead and set up. In it comes Kyberries is going to be go ahead and get the stun out onto that Cassia. The trap does come out. Out comes the Haunting Wave from Sylvanas, but unfortunately with that avoidance, Cassia does find herself hard to pick off there.
Yeah, just a great way to avoid that Junkrat mine throw down there for the boot bag. Really nice job on Pharrell there.
Yeah, absolutely. I like this position coming out from the Garrosh here, trying to delay these rotations as Kavgas is just spinning around, just waiting to catch the soak safely, and waiting for his team to come down and help clear this camp. Looking
Yeah, no,
forward to Garrosh tossing the exploding Diva mech. Listen, that is fantastic. Or I always the dream for me is just like Garrosh and then having an Uther on your team and then just throwing the Uther into the enemy team with Divine Storm, and it makes me just makes me giggle just thinking about it. Probably doesn't happen in real life, but I always want it to happen.
All right, lads and lasses.
Oh, Dax, I've had you throw me in a few times. I tell you what, it's not fun on that side.
I just attempt that you're just gonna win. You just win the game when you play Uther.
Under siege.
Oh man, we see can't be taken, but again, right away we see Sky5 go ahead and take the first objective and start counting down and free those guys from the cages there.
Yeah, we want to see Frill. Go ahead and poke it, get the scouting done with the Q over the wall, but out goes that camp. So in comes Cavias to hit the 3-man condemn. The toss is out onto Coffee. Not going to be able to poop himself back to safety. Out comes the Diva mech explosion. Apple Mike does dash out of the way from the damage from Mockery. So that's a 1-for-0 first blood going over in favor of Sky5 and the objective as well.
Yeah, no, again, that's just the power of the Garrosh there. Nice throw, nice pick on pretty squishy hero, and it's hard to survive that. So really, really well done on their side.
Absolutely. So let's see where they want to go ahead and, pardon me, put their Calgary here. Ping's coming out. Try to get the pick onto Mockery, but great wave coming out from him to get behind the wall. But looks like they want to pressure the top lane. Again, this is a boss lane, and this is where Sky5 wants to make their mark.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Any sort of big wave or big clear like that, and we see Mockery. Oh, the throw missed, so Mockery's going to make it out of there. But good attempt by Garrosh going there and look to potentially get a pick.
All right, out comes Chastise. Not going to be able to connect with anybody. Coffee with the zoning bomb there. This rider should lose his health here pretty quickly. Unstoppable does get popped by the Garrosh here. Does able to escape that condemn here. So great defense. Lost the wall there, and not much more. But Mockery is on looking at this furl. The Yeet of Fate does come out from Allen there, and great zoning coming out from Silver as well.
Yeah, that's what you want to see with your Anduin. Just really getting that Yeet ready, and it was nicely timed and played on their side. So well done.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll just rotate down here to watch these off-laners, just giving up the show time to give their teams XP soak. Kyle, just go ahead and hog Wild back to safety. No problem at all whatsoever, just getting the team soak. But, just the one kill. Both these teams are neck and neck, rounding up to level 9 here. And looking for level 10s. This camp is being taken off cooldown by Baby on Board. So the macro game is on par tonight for this game.
And Mockery with the same there. Obviously able to commit less resources because Sylvanas does her thing pretty well, shutting those down. But good timing on everyone's part here to get these camps going out as quickly as possible.
Alrighty, absolutely here. So we do see the two up top. Lindell does have the Diva mech explosion. We do see the camps meet here in the middle on the Alterac bridge. Any World of Warcraft players out there knows this bridge all too well. But up steps Cav has to help clear this, so they will make quick wave of that camp. No harm, no foul. Just taking a look down here. We do see Kyle rotate up to the mid to help with that. But Cassie is staying in lane 10. It's going to be online for both teams right here, right now.
Yeah, no, right even, good soaking, and yeah, like you said, no real advantage to be able to come out there. No team looking for that quick 10 and pick there. So we should see a pretty good skirmish here coming mid over this next objective.
Alrighty, so we do see the stun coming out from the Garrosh there. Cav popped the Unstoppable. So just want to take a peek here at some of the numbers here. So siege damage already from Hogger is already sitting at 41k, but Diva staying neck and neck with the Hogger there at 50k. Hero damage, Sylvanas sitting at 12. Really beefy team coming out over here. So overwhelming affliction getting that value.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see Light Bomb come in, so potentially a Diva mech Light Bomb maybe. What do you think about that, Dax?
You know what? It's probably a little bit easier since Garrosh doesn't have. So we rotate down here. Got a sneaky little boss play going on. But, Garrosh doesn't really have the engage or disengage, so Diva going to be able to charge in with that light bomb and then hurt the bomb of her own. I'd like that play a lot, and pairing it up with Odin and just seeing. Okay, so Cassie did go Valkyrie there. I was going to say if you went Ball Lightning. a lot of value and a lot of damage there. So gonna go ahead, knowing that they are down, they're not trying to grab their objective. We do see Baby on board rotate up here to the top lane to try and shred this boss here pretty quickly, but let's see where Sky5 wants to go, if they head towards the objective or if they look to invade.
I think we're going to see a boss invade here. We're going to see Baby on board maybe potentially back off here and let this leash.
I think that should be the call. They are split. It is only 3 of them here, but in comes the Draken Laser Drill. We do see Liddell with the Diva Bomb providing some stuns. The Valkyrie does come out. The D-Shield coming out onto Kafkas does save him. Out comes a toss. Cassie into the backline, but down goes Johanna. Yeet a fake to pull Frill back from harm's way. So, you know, well, 1-for-0 trade there. Could have been far worse. Mockery is low, does have to back. So now the Baby on board, now staring down the barrel of 2 bosses pushing their lane and ticking time bomb here with this objective.
Yeah, absolutely. Good play. Yeah, unfortunately, just the clear wasn't quite there. Probably need to commit a junk rat there to help clear that boss out. I don't think Sylvanas quite has the best boss clear in the game there, and it's just you know, a bit of an unfortunate play there, but a way to go on Sky5 to capitalize on that. They knew they, you know, ideally saw them pull off there if they were attacking their top port, so it seemed like a pretty obvious call to head up there and contest boss if they got there in time.
Yep, absolutely. So, you know what, it probably should have been just all hands on deck to grab that boss and then maybe stall objective and then grab the camp. I think that probably would have been the better timing there. But you know what, they don't lose a whole heck of a lot. And then again, as I speak, Sky5 does go ahead and cap their second objective of the game here, but you know, they will hard defend. My guess is top and bottom. They may let the top fort go, but taking a look at the soak here, I mean, Kyle is doing a fantastic job keeping his team in the game. You know, only about a quarter of a level lead down Sky5 here, so doing a great job trying to get that double soak in. So the toss does come out onto Kai Berries, out comes the bomb. The silence does go off, but it's not enough to save Kai to eat a faith out onto Silver. The bomb comes out from Junkrat, but it's still not enough to take down Garrosh, but Kyle jumps into the backline. Much to his chagrin, does find himself surrounded by 4 members of Sky5. Mockery is last. Oh, it's okay. As I said, last one to be targeted by the side of Sky5, but does sneak out of that. We do see Frill going to go ahead and back up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And good play to go all in on that Uther. It's hard to win the game when you don't have a support player out on the field to be able to do its thing. So well done on that engage there. I do like the aggressiveness that we're seeing from Sky5, who they're really just kind of going all in with the garage play. And it's right now it's paying off for them.
Yep, so here we go. They do set their sights up onto this top keep, pressuring it. They will back out. I like this play, but they do catch Liddell out with that condemn. Out comes Diva, does roll away, is blinded. Coffee, the great shield coming out from the Johanna does get boot back. Down goes Diva, and that's kind of the pick that they needed. The chase is on. They are mounted up. Out comes the Chastise. Is going to root Mockery there. Out comes a poke from Allen to kind of slow them down as well. But in comes the Hortipult. He does. Kyle does get tossed underneath that. Out comes the D-Shield. The Valkyrie gets popped onto Kai Berries, but nothing's going to happen. Out comes the bomb from the Junkrat there. The friendly yeet from Garrosh there. But we do see the black arrows come out here, and now this is on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That, like you said, that was a good turnaround point there. That one pick allows them to push in and kind of even up the middle lane there. It does come at the cost of losing the top keep as well, so we're going to start seeing a little bit of pressure. But with Alterac Pass, right, there is a little bit of armor on the boss, and the core does regenerate, or rather some armor on the core, and it does regenerate. So not a huge loss for them at the moment right now, but something to kind of keep track and keep aware of.
Yeah, I think it's generally the play where you kind of need 2 keeps down to maybe try and end this one. The armor is there; it is a thing, and like to your point, these cores do regenerate health pretty quickly. And I wish most of them did do that. I mean, I know they regenerate the shields a little bit, but I wish most of them regenerated some of the health.
Our soldiers have been taken prisoner.
I think, you know, Kreska probably scouted out there a little bit of a pick play there. Garrosh wasn't quite in position enough, so avoid that middle there. But, yeah, we're going to see this camp kind of push back in mid. We'll watch them clear that really quick. But I think if we want to see Baby on board kind of stay in this game, I think we do have to kind of look for them to maybe pressure a little bit on this objective and look to maybe force a fight if they can.
All right. I think now is the time. 16's online for both teams. The kill counts 4-2 in favor of Sky5, but they are in position. Maybe try to bait this out. So looks like it's going to happen. Let's check the patience coming out here. So Cavguest does step up. Is going to go ahead and face check this bush. Does pop the unstoppable, but the dive is on the back line. Out comes the taunt. Out comes the Valkyrie. The Eagle Fate out on to the Garage. Kyberry steps up to get the healing done. Finds herself getting poked down from the Strackland laser. Liddell does have the Diva Mech Explosion. Not going to get pressured enough to use it. A lot of buttons getting pressed there from both these teams, but no deaths. So well done from both of these healers. We pointed out in the pregame.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anduin right there on the pulls on the Garrosh there. And he's going back in. We get the toss on that. The light bomb comes out, and no one hit by that. Johanna had the unstoppable, but Johanna taking a lot of damage. D-Shield comes out, and we're going to see, Garrosh might survive this 60 health. Oh, that is a little clincher there. Well done.
All right, but they are awfully low. Look at these health bars from the side of Baby on board. Unfortunately, with Uther, he does have those long cooldowns. The chase is on. We see Apple Mike, one of the best names I've seen. Out comes a Fend. Down goes Junkrat, unfortunately. Just the range on Cassia and that Fend. But you know what? A 1-for-0 could have been far worse with some of those health pulls there. But we do see Sky5 rotate down here to this bottom boss.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's, a little bit harder of a boss play here to defend on the side of Baby on board, but not certainly impossible. We do see some ults coming back up here on both sides, so, Dax, we looked at them just maybe like try to invade, or we let them have it. And looks like they're going to go with the invade.
So I think this is their last-ditch effort. Out comes the Valkyrie, out comes the Light Bomb. Mockery is in the backline, but does find herself stuck between Diva and Garrosh there. Cavguest finds himself low, does go down. The only one left alive is Kyle here, does hog wild his way out of there to maybe try and clean up some of these lanes. I did see it in the chat, so they were able to relieve some of the pressure mid onto their keep. We do see Kyle going to go ahead and rotate onto this camp, but I'm guessing we will see a double boss play and an objective from Sky5 here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Diva able to go ahead and clear that, start the objective here, kind of clear out some of those the guards, while we see the other members of Sky5 go ahead and head up, and like you called it, go for the double boss play here. With an objective, it's going to be pretty hard to counter this pressure, Dax. I think unless they stop us, I think we maybe have to look at an end of game scenario here.
Yeah, I think the last-ditch effort here is to just clear these bosses and then just wait for the objective and try and defend to the best of their ability. Not sure if they will have 20s by the time this starts marching down, but we're just going to leave one to clear it. They're going to step up and maybe try to delay this. It is almost level 20. It does this objective does scale later in the game. It does take a longer amount of time to cap these objectives. So well done there, but unfortunately, taking a peek here, Thick Boy number 1 almost done. He does get the keep down in the bottom, and this boss is marching onto that core with a full health and a full wave to join him here. So this is a last-ditch effort, peeking back into this team fight. The toss does go off onto a minion, so lucky day for inside of Baby on board. Out comes the Wailing Arrow silencing 3 members of Sky5. Out comes the stun, not connecting to anyone. In comes that Light Bomb Diva charge combo there. Coffee finds himself low, is going to be able to loop himself back to safety. Mockery trying to stand in auto and do the best that he can, but in comes Apple Mike, is going to dash, get the kill on to Sylvanas there. Kyberries finds herself low. Uther goes to go ahead and pops the solo D-Shield. Tarask with the hammer to try and disengage the team, does catapult his way out of there, but down goes Kyberries as well, and we will see some GGs already. The boss is wailing away, and Winions go ahead and take it in game 1, going over to Sky5.
Yeah, absolutely. Just unfortunate those double bosses there with the two keeps gone, and just it's hard to let that damage regenerate. So well done, good pressure on the map by Sky5 here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. It was pretty even. Baby on board had a lot of the macro game going on. They were getting the double soak from the Hogger there. I mean, just even at the end of that game, Kyle soaking 2,000 more experience than the Diva. But I think it just ended up, getting a little carried away post level 10 with that combo from the teams. Because I think it was like 1 kill, 2 kills to nothing for the longest time. And then those last couple ditch efforts on those boss fights kind of just didn't go Baby on board's way.
Yeah, no, and I think like someone mentioned in chat here. I'm trying to think who it was here before I steal their thunder here. But I think that we just saw a lot of necessarily missed position, but a lot of single positioned characters that the good old gang squad with the Garage leading the charge. They just took advantage of it and really kind of let them kind of run the map as they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pick comp was there. Like you said, they were able to catch out Coffee there a little early, and that's kind of maybe would have been the snowball. But I think they had a lot of counters to the Garrosh. I mean, we didn't talk about it there, but Hogger does have a lot of mobility to eat a lot of those throws. I think Kavgis did a great job as well. Just popping the trait when need be, using his blinds to demount the Garrosh. But yeah, just I'm excited to head to game number 2 here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anything stat-wise, Dax, stand out to you here?
So taking a peek at the stats here, I mean, Mockery doing standing firm with the overwhelming affliction, did go Mercenary Queen to get some value there in that mid lane. So standing firm behind his essentially double front line, triple front line there with the Uther to get a lot of that damage. But with Junkrat, he doesn't necessarily, he can stall, but his damage is kind of random. Where maybe they were just having a hard time securing kills, maybe pairing that with, maybe like a Genji or something like that, which might be hard into a taunt Garrosh, but
Yeah.
But yeah, just maybe a little bit more kill. I don't want to say potential because I think the damage was there, and then Sky5 was really low on a ton of different occasions.
Yeah, no. One thing I did notice there, at least I maybe just having this way, but AG Silver G separating out the Uther from the team, right? So that last boss made there, we were able to throw the Garrosh, or I'm sorry, the Uther into the boss area, and he was separated from the team, couldn't heal him, and we saw them just ignore Uther and then take out the three remaining members of Baby on board.
Absolutely. So it looks like the lobby is up here. So we're going to take a peek. If you want to touch base on any of these talents while I get things updated here.
Yeah, no, nothing horribly surprising. I think from my side here, as far as talents go, we do see Uther at level 1, maybe not taking his full on heal build there, going to Hammer the Lightbringer. I tend to play a little more passive on my side, so I'm not one to horribly judge that, but I haven't seen that one out for a while. Before kind of Uther got the nerf hammer thrown down on him. To make it a little less tanky there. So that one's a little bit surprising to see. I like the cleanse out there though. But beyond that, everyone else look fairly normal to me.
All right, I believe so. So it looks like the lobby is up. So let's take a peek here. So we did have All Track Pass getting picked by Baby on board. And then game number 1, as we saw, did go over to the side of Sky5. So Baby on board wants the first pick here coming into game 2. Maybe they have a strategy that they want or a particular hero that they'd like to take first overall. Sky5, again, map pools. Love this particular map. I like their style here. Very team fighty, which seemed to work out for them in game number 1.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Any 2-lane map, right? And Dax, at some point you have to tell us what Braxis did to you to make you hate it so much here. But with BOE, it's a little bit easier of a macro or I guess map system here, right? You're not really controlling points. In essence, you're fighting for to get your angel out there to do some damage to him. On the battlefield. So, like you said, we expect a lot of team fights there. A good 4-1 split here. Maybe looking at a potential Brightwing Global to kind of go up and do her thing, heal and kind of cheese a little bit, not respecting the 1v1 because Brightwing, I guess. But yeah, so a lot of options here. But I think we're going to see potentially maybe a quick Rainer ban or, ban him out on either side here. But maybe a lot of quick shredding minion and monster traits coming out here for both teams.
Absolutely here. So, you can draft this game either way. You can go for the burn or the race, or you can go for the team fight side. So taking a look here at the chat, Dynasty even said that they got picked too quickly. And, I believe that, Sneaky Glades, that was kind of my point there, but I got kind of rushed. Just wanted to jump here into this lobby, not to hold these two teams out. But in the sense of the stats side of things, we saw 55k healing coming out from the Anduin and only 25k healing coming out from that Uther. I think when you run Uther healer, you want some quick burst fights. You want just to be done and over with. He has those 2 long cooldowns, 12 seconds. He gets the little bit of healing and the armor. And I just don't think the team comp was able to secure those kills and give the teams the advantage. But just well done. Like I said, game number 1 from Sky5. But you know what? This one isn't over yet. I'd like to see these teams step up here. Maybe shake off the game, the first game jitters, get warmed up a little bit, and come out swinging, and hopefully we get a game number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, with this Dax, since you're my scouting guy here apparently as well, when I do these showcasts with you, what do you expect for bands coming out here from either team? Anything in particular you think we'll see, or still some more targeted bands on either side?
Okay. I was to say I was expecting maybe the same bands, but we do see the Diva band come out, even though they do have the first pick. So not necessarily thinking that Diva is first pick material, or they'd like something else. Maybe they have a different strategy in mind here.
Yeah. With Diva being on this one, is she? And again, I just don't know. Is this one where like she's a really good solo lane on this map specifically as well as her other utility, or just one of those ones where she's a really good solo laner and kind of a nuisance if you know how to play her?
Definitely a nuisance, and I think it kind of showed in that game number 1. So the Hanzo is going to go ahead and get banned, get great race, as well as Li Ming here. So we're just seeing some race, similar bans, but some good all-around race heroes coming out here. But depending on the build, Diva has a lot of sustainability, and I think come level 13 she has a talent where if she's holding the bomb, she actually does more damage, and that really helps to increase her race potential there as well. But again, with the zoning potential, you're already dealing with the stuns from the Immortal, and then you have a Diva bomb to throw into that mix. But out comes that Chromie ban as well. So kind of similar, just opting out for that Diva this time. But Tracer is still up and available. And there we go. We do
Absolutely.
So let's see how they wanted to counter this. I think they left it up on purpose. We could potentially see a Taunt Barrion. We could see Uther going to get picked up from Sky5 here, and or maybe even just a Rainer. A solid Rainer auto attacker can trade into Tracer pretty well.
Oh, and there's the Uther, like you said, the nuisance, maybe prevent that dive coming in. So nice stun lock there. I would say Brightwing kind of handles that a little bit as well. And then Kael'thas on this map. I haven't seen that in a while. Is this Pharrell kind of a Kael'thas player here, Dax? Have you seen that on any scouting at all, or?
I have not. I mean, this isn't necessarily one of Kael'thas's greater maps. It does have a decent amount of zone control, but offers a lot of wave clear. So we'll be able to clear camps, clear waves, and get back here. So maybe that's just what they want to do. Maybe they want to stall. So Kyberries is going to go ahead and take the Malfurion here. Great combo. Actually, I think probably the best healing combo now that Tassadar got the rework. No longer the shielding hero that he is, going to be able to pop that rejuvenation onto Tracer, let her go do her thing, and just can be in the team fights and keep Tracer topped up. And we do see Kyle going to go ahead and lock in that Hogger here for game number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So bands coming out here. What we're looking at for bands here, potentially. Any sort of tank bands you might want to see? And there's the Johanna coming out there. I like that.
Yep, Johanna really strong on this particular map. Can avoid all of the immortal stuns. Can blind. A lot of the race is involved in a lot of the auto attackers. So the blinds can really just do some damage to that. Out comes the Rainer ban. No Ray-Bay here this evening. Vala's still available. Zul'jin's still available. If you'd like Lunara, still really good on this particular map.
Yeah, and the QM Artanis here maybe coming out, maybe not specking for his stack quest. Greymane as well. We do see the Greymane picked up on the that side, and the potential Taunt Variant coming out. I do like the combo and style they're going here with the Variant Uther stun. Kael'thas has a stun, and then Greymane just does Greymane things and bites down and starts swiping.
Yep, Greymane can solo camps. He can sneak away, and they still have the 3-man kill gang squad coming out here. So what do we do here? That's all right. I like it. Love to see it. I was gonna say, what do we do? They have the Uther, so what else counters the Taunt Variant style? And hit the Cav hit the nail on the head. We will see a shielding sanctification Tyrael here, and then Falstad. We didn't get to talk about Falstad a whole heck of a lot, but a really good hero at the moment in these tight little choke points in these team fights is going to be able to kind of stack up that W quest. And last pick here is we're going to see the Brightwing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Good flex. One of those things where they might allow Brightwing to maybe potentially solo after teleporting up, leave Uther with it, or again, the Brightwing works really well with the Tom Varian, kind of that blow up comp as well with the polymorph. So a little bit safer range on that as well. So let's say I like the play, kind of going all in on the Tracer defense as well here. It looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not sure. I'm going to assume we might see Uther in the off lane, but it actually might be Brightwing. But we will see how they position this here. So let's take a look here at our beautiful faces until we just jump right in here. Looks like no potatoes from either team. So we're going to jump right into this game.
Nice and quick. Gotta love it.
This team's not messing around. All right, on the left-hand side, game number 2. We have Baby on board. We have Cavcast on the Tyrael, Kyberries on Malfurion, Mockery on that famous Tracer, Coffee on the Falstad, and Tarask or Kyle on the Hogger. And who do we have on the right-hand side?
Yeah, for Sky5 here, we have AG Silver AG on the Varian. We have Lydell on the Uther, Alan by default, rocking that Brightwing. We have Apple Mike on the Greymane, and then Pharrell, I'm going to keep calling it that because I like how that sounds, on the Kael'thas.
Absolutely. Okay, so we do see the Varian going to go ahead and rotate up here to the top lane, taking a look at the level 1. He is holding it, maybe to try and just kind of deflect everybody here with thinking that it's going to be a taunt Varian, but we could very well see just main tank Uther.
Absolutely, Windblades is a thing still sometimes, especially on this map, right? Start kiting people down really quick. So I do like this this combination they have going on here. A lot of flexibility they can also go into.
Absolutely. Okay, so the gank attempt did come out looking to pick off AG Silver, but he is going to be able to pop that protect and get on out of there. We do see Falstad is going to go ahead and use his flight down bottom to help defend this, and out comes that oppressive sleep off of that root coming out here, but out comes the gravity lapse to catch Coffee, but he will be okay here. And that's first blood going over to the side of Babies on board.
Yeah, no, and just a good play. Let them push in. It's looking good, but use that global presence, right? Falstad comes down. Malfurion with the new talent to let some sleeps happen for the first 1.5 seconds after the root ends. On that, it was just well played.
Yeah, Emerald Dreams just seems really stilly broken and in the current standings here. So just taking a look here, Frequent Flyer going to go ahead and get picked up there. 28 stacks and counting already for Uther. So well on our way.
Chop, 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 and hammer away. That's what Uther does here. But we might see everyone kind of committing top here. So we see Kyle in a little bit of trouble, able to back out there. Varian taking some damage there, but we're going to see Sky5 go ahead and commit the 4-man to go ahead and pick up that top camp there.
Yep, absolutely. So we do see Overpower going to get picked up by the Varian. That almost makes me believe that it will be a taunt Varian coming up here. So I think Baby on board can bully a little bit, at least until 4, when taunt does come online, and that's just kind of when the lockdown starts to happen for Sky5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do see a little bit of a shift here. Both the damage dealers are down bottom at the moment here. We might see a little bit of a rotation to fix this this current situation here. But yeah, at the moment, actually we see commitment to camp now, actually. So that's my bad there. But yeah, 2-1 split here. Brightwing up top. Varian still waiting for his 4 here. 4's just come online, and we do have a taunt Varian coming out. So maybe at this point we see the Uther rotate now to the off lane, let the 4-man taunt Varian blow up comp be a thing.
Yeah, I think so. And then it's just an insane, CC chain coming out here, even adding Brightwing into the mix. And, Malfurion doesn't get that pseudo cleanse, I think, until 13. So it will be a long game up until, I think, 13's for the side of Babies on board. But, I mean, to the point here, Coffee does go ahead and is going to start burning, is going to eat a living bomb, does dodge the gravity lapse, but in comes the rest of the team. Needs to be careful. In comes taunt. Varian does have charge up and available, will be able to just barrel roll his way out of there.
Yeah, hopefully we see Sky5 pass off here, but we get a little attack on Uther there. A stun comes out, Root, and we're going to go ahead and see Sky5 look to re-engage here. Malfurion, Kyber's a little bit in trouble there. Mockery Duna Sang just kind of harassing the back line here, getting shots off whenever she can. And we just see Coffee go ahead and kind of sit and just keep poking away on the Immortal here.
Yeah, absolutely. So the nice thing about players, we do see the taunt come out onto Kyber's, and she does get the rejuve onto herself, but not able to keep herself alive. Cav Guest is getting chased down here, but they opt to turn their sights onto this Immortal and look for the first objective.
Yeah, and that's just like we mentioned, the taunt variant. It's hard for anyone to survive that with the taunt there for the stun, lock in, down, polymorph, and we're gonna see Tyrael go down here. Nice play, and again, that's just Varian harassing, being a nuisance with his level 10s, apparently level 4s here.
Absolutely, but just Kyle just keeping the team in the game. 7s will be hit from both these teams. Kills now in favor of Sky5 2-1 as they just look to just burn some of the shield here. Greymane now finally jumping on board, so they should make quick work of this, but not too bad. About 4,500 shield.
Yeah, no, and absolutely. And they don't minus Kael'thas will poke with the his living bombs here, but unless Greymane's getting in there, they don't really at least in my opinion, I'm bad at this, but have a lot of like major sieging potential, like you would see maybe a Sylvanas coming out, shutting down some stuff. So I don't expect them to lose much, maybe wall, maybe a tower on this one as well, but it's a pretty weak Immortal, especially this early, so I suspect we'll see a good defense and move along.
Right, absolutely. So they do need to be careful here stepping up. I mean, most of the siege damage is on the Greymane here. Kael'thas isn't the greatest. Cavias does jump in the backline, does get taunted, does not have the Q, but he does have movement speed to get out of the sleep coming out to disengage anything that Apple Mike wants to do. So half this fort will go down. So not a bad defense here. I think come level 10, there's a lot of close range fighting. I think we do see the silence that coming out from the Emerald Dream. Is that what that's called? I think. No, that's Emerald Dreams. Level 1. Yeah. So the silence is going to come out, and I think that may make a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, it should help out a little bit. And we do see maybe AG looking at top here. We do see them starting to commit maybe to the 4. Nope. We're going to go ahead and just give the top camp over to the Sky to Baby on board here.
Alright, so the macro pressure is still pretty strong. We do see Greymane and Brightwing going to rotate down here to this bot camp as Kyle just goes ahead and clears this. But again, got the first objective. They do have part of that fort. In comes Kyle, does eat that polymorph, so that is 1 CC down, does step on this, is going to go ahead and hit the hammer, and they start going to do that hog wild, but we do see Apple Mike is going to get that phase shift, and he is just getting chunked down. Unfortunately, does lose his life and the ability to recapture that camp there.
Yep, and like we mentioned, Brightwing just doesn't respect a 1v1 there,
nope. Although
she was down there by then. Everyone hates her. So well done though. Unfortunately, it's just with the teleport in, not having that up, it's just a no-win situation, especially Greymane just sitting there chunking down.
Twilight Dream. Thank you, B. I knew it was some sort of dream. I was getting confused. Too much WoW. Too much WoW playing in my life.
Perfect. And really quick, Dax on Nature's Cure is actually a level 7 talent. I was pretty sure, but I haven't played in a while there, so one of those things. Yeah, so they do get a cleanse there up every 45 seconds. They kind of help to deal with some of that taunt pressure.
Yep, stuns, brews, and slows. So just going to have to go ahead and just keep Q off cooldown. But here we go. The race is on for this particular one. We do see babies on board. Go ahead and cap their respective bruiser camp. And the race is pretty darn close here in the favor of the Greymane on the side of Sky5. But any sort of just potentially good trade here for Baby on board should opt in maybe an objective 1 here.
Yeah, and we're looking for a defense here from both teams at the moment, so I think we'll see some camps clean up first, kind of clear little things, and then look to maybe start engaging.
All right, so taunt comes out onto Macri, trying to kite him back into the team. Out comes the Tracer bomb, trying to get some of that poke damage done. Tracer is going to go ahead and step up to try and continue to just keep pressure onto this Immortal. And we do see Sky5 in full defensive mode here. We do see Hogger going to rotate here into the backline, try to be a little bit of a nuisance and create some space for the team. Cavguest is going to go ahead and throw out that Q. Does pop a Sanct underneath this, allowing the team to step up. In comes the Hortipult, in comes Tracer, and the damage is on. Does pop that Hog Wild. We do see Tracer going to go ahead and get locked down and eat that Pyroblast, but out comes that Silence, trying to disengage. Great hammer from Kyle into that stun, and a double sleep there. So as of right now, a 1-for-0 trade in favor of Sky5. Out comes the taunt, able to hit that Hog Wild just in time, going to get that unstoppable. I'm not sure if, no, it doesn't look like taunt was hit on a cooldown, so got the charge off, but not the taunt.
And we're going to see Malfurion go down here too. Kyberries gets caught on the side there, and Varian just comes in and says, "No, thank you, Kyberries. I'm going to take you down."
Yeah, and D Nasty saying, "I'm not sure if Nature's Cure will help." No, I think it would help, but there's just a ton of CC, right? There's just, you know, the stun lockdown. So there we go. We see the taunt, the stun, the gravity lapse, but Great Gust coming out from Coffee to disengage us, and they do take down the Immortal. They do get it. So, you know, all is not lost on the side of Baby on Board.
Yeah, no, it definitely a little bit unfortunate. Tyrael does go down there right at the end. You know, but nice disengage and nice just constant pressure, letting them kind of do their thing. And, you know, with multiple people attacking, Greymane just wasn't quick enough to kind of clear that out. But really close, really weak shield to this point. So I don't, again, expect we're going to see much of a, problem with defending this Immortal here at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole team is here. We do see Liddell going to go ahead and step up. So, you know, even it up there a little bit in the top lane. And we do see both forts at, you know, 50% roughly. Out comes the taunt onto Tracer. Is going to be able to blink out of that. Out comes the root. No one gets caught in that, so no one is taking a nap here. But I like this pressure from the side of Baby on Board up here. Just trying to put this up here.
Yeah, no, they're just all on bottom. If you look down bottom, you know, Tereska with the Hogger just kind of go in there and said, you know what, I'll match this. I can do just as much work as the Immortal can on this one. And so nice work kind of evening it down and, you know, winning the offlane really well there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, keeping the team in it here. So we do see just a good old camp swap here going on. But, you know, just structure-wise, Baby on Board is ahead of the game. 13's now online for Sky5.
Yeah, no, and I think we're starting to see, you know, Baby on Board kind of come alive here a little bit with not necessarily winning the team fights, but the, you know, the counter pressure game here. And I think right now that's working out for them. That's a strategy I think they are probably going to start leaning into a bit here as 13's kind of come online.
All right, so in comes the blink from Brightling to top off that Varian here. But yeah, like to your point, like Kyle is just keeping two members down there to deal with him at all times. I guess... you know, you don't necessarily have a pseudo offlaner to deal with that Hogger, but out comes the blow-up comp onto that Tracer, does get locked down, does lose the life. Apple Mike is, you hear those resets coming out. You don't normally hear that sound very often, but down goes Coffee as well, and that's what this comp can do, getting those resets on and go for the throat.
Yeah, nicely done. And then Pharrell just with the, you know, the casual stun there, really nicely played. Good geometry on that one. Nice rotation up to kind of help secure that the fall set kill. So, you know, it looked like a promising push turns into a, you know, two-person loss and some maybe a loss of camp here on the side of Baby on Board.
All right, so they will go ahead and lose their camp there. Great camp invade from the side. We do see the Holy Ground go get popped, but we will see Tyrael go ahead and get stun. Out comes the Sanctification. The rest of the team does rotate in here. Hogger does Hog Wild. Great silence coming out from Kyberries, and out comes the Hortipult. Frill finds himself a little bit low. Coffee does dive in here looking for that Hogger of a Gust play, but is going to eat a ton of damage, does get taken down by the Pyroblast there. The camp is reclaimed by the side of Baby on Board, but the side of Sky5 is awfully low. They are going to go ahead and chase them down. We do see Frill looking to back, but in comes the enemy team. The Hog Wild in here, the beautiful root coming out from Kyberries. The follow-up sleeve does take down Greymane, and that is a 1-for-1 trade. I guess yeah, potentially 2-for-1. I guess Tracer did go down. She did live that second time, but great stall coming out there for sure.
Yeah, really well done. And you know, Tyrael again, come 13th here. That you know, holy ground, right? Really just showing its play in there and letting them cap that, and also really doing a job pushing back and kind of separating out Varian and Brightwing and forcing the Greymane to go in and try to make a play. And you know, just a really good turnaround here.
Right, absolutely. It's just a great macro game showing, what a great macro game can do. I mean, they're down 9 kills to 2, but just keeping up with the macro and so keeping the team in it. But out comes the combo again. Great gust to save Cavcast there. He is going to go ahead and just blink away with his sword. The stun coming out on to Hogger, but does have his own unstoppable there, is going to be able to hog Wild out of there. So they will have the chance to kind of resettle down, get topped back off, get taps if they have to. As they look to get their second objective in a row. Out comes the taunt on to Cavguess, but down to go. Is going to be able to explode here on the team. Going to chunk down Apple Mike. Out comes the D-Shield on the self-pop from Liddell there. Kyberries is going to get zoned off here a little bit, but Mockery and Coffee doing the best they can to start wailing away and finish up this Immortal. Out comes that combo again. Out onto Mockery. Does hit the rewind there just in time. Is going to be able to blink out of there, but unfortunately go for the throat. Not going to be able to let Mockery get away there.
Yeah, well done. Well, that was all going on here, Dax. We do notice that, on the side of Sky5, they did lose their bottom keep out front, and Camp's doing a good job. They're losing the entire wall in front of their fort here.
Yep, absolutely. So the camp did a great job pushing there. The great sleep coming out to disengage any sort of team fight there. This Immortal will head top. This will 100% be a fort. And potentially more. 16's now online for the side of Sky5. 11 kills to 2. That's what the team comp wants to do. We do see Hogger looking to push this bot lane, does get taken down, but creating space, forcing the enemy team down there. So, this will be a little bit of a fort plus more, but trying to get 16's here as well.
Yeah, calculated move. I think on that, just really kind of free up some space, not let them start chunking us down. I mean, Grammy's going to rip that shield down, so the more time they waste, the more damage it's going to do on their side.
Right, and I like this call here. They're going to try and rotate, maybe to try and get this keep here if they can. Pings are going to come out, maybe catch them in rotation.
Yeah, I think the rotation will make a little more sense here, perhaps. But it looks like they're going to back off. Mockery just kind of scouting out, but I think we'll see the gentleman's agreement and just take camps here at the moment.
All right, so we do see Sky5 opting to take the Bruiser camp here. Greymane is just clearing and pushing out the top lane. And then to your point, we do see Baby on board taking bot camp. So now, is the race on? Do they opt for top camp, or did they just let top camp go and continue to push the skeet, which that looks like to be the call here?
Yeah, I think bottom, right? Right now, it's a huge advantage bottom lane here with both keep and potentially a fort going down. It's going to be catapult pressure every minion wave, which, after, by 18, 19 minutes, that adds up really quick there.
All right, so out comes on to that great disengage and silence coming out from the side of Baby on board. Out comes the D-Shield onto Varian, but in comes Hogger with that Hog Wild, looking to just kind of disrupt this team. The camp is here with a catapult. The side of Sky5 is awfully low. And they do step up onto that. Out comes a Pyroblast, down goes Coffee. Just all of that damage. Unfortunately, poor Malfurion is not able to keep up with that. The slow coming out onto Macri as well is going to be able to blink their way out of there. And great defense coming out from the side of Sky5.
Yeah. Absolutely, lots of ults. I guess not really lots of ults down. Pretty even trade here. We did see Power Blast come out and D-Shield, so those will be down their respective times. So with Sank, and Hogger's ult there and Malfurion. So potentially, I'm surprised they're not going for a candidate here. Is I guess my long-winded way of saying that, Dax.
Yeah, I think they're downfall stats, so I think they're just assuming it'll be a 5v4. But they're just going to go ahead and grab this. The Bruiser camp, which is going to continue to keep pressure in that bot lane, as we see, Sky5 just looking to get something here, since the last two objectives did go over in favor. They made quick work of this one, wasting no time at all whatsoever, getting to halftime here.
Yeah, absolutely. Greymane doesn't, he's not messing around there, Dax. He wants a quick in and out, and that's what they got. Little camp cleanup here on the side of Sky5 here, and we do see, I guess the minion wave will take care of the top camp here, so maybe we're looking at a defense slash a potential engage here, but Kyberry's got to be a little bit careful. It's just him and, or rather, Malfurion and Cav down there in the bottom.
Alright, so here we go. We do see Cavcast jumping here into the backline. Out comes the Sanctification, allowing the team to step up here safely without the fear of any sort of taunt. So out comes the stun from the Uther. In comes the Hyper Shift as well to top the rest of the team up. A beautiful silence coming out from Kyberries here, holding it out to just Ooh, that is a 2-for-0 kill in trade. Out comes the Pyroblast, but Coffee will live to tell the tale there, getting that armor. Out comes the Tracer Pulse Bomb out onto the enemy team. The beautiful double root coming out there to sleep to follow up. In comes Kyle to disengage that team, and down goes Brightwing as well. Silver is going to go down. Oh no, but not without taking Kyle with him. That is a 4-for-1 trade, and Mockery is on the chase here. Does going to go ahead and eat that gravity lapse, and the nice thing about Rewind will go ahead and get rid of those living bombs. The rest of the team sets their sights up onto this bottom keep here, and I was thinking maybe potentially an end here, but I'm not too sure about that one.
Yeah, I think we got sank up a little bit. We do have a disengage, but everyone's just a bit low there. So Cavs decided he's just going to go back and kind of take the win there on that team fight. And really good patient fight there on the side of on Baby on board, right? They got them in a pinch when they wanted. They kind of got the Gray Mane kind of out of position there, and they just got the kills they needed to really take advantage of that.
Yeah, and just like I said, to your point, that patience from Kyberries on that silence, waiting for that bright one to come in. Great disengage Gus there coming out from Coffee to make sure they get this third objective in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see them, all right, they took the bottom keep there. So we're going to start seeing those catapults start piling up there. And, one more kill here, Dax. I think we potentially look for an end on the side of Baby on board.
I think they set their sights over onto Varian here. He is showing by himself up here in the lane, but maybe they just full on 5v4 up here. In comes Cav. Yes, most likely will queue into this backline, but great gravity lapse sniffing out that gank coming out from the side of Baby on board, but Varian is here now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we're starting to see Greymane kind of poke down the shield here. But yep, we see the Sank pop there. We see Varian kind of get popped out. The Divine Shield comes out. Luther is about half health there. We see Greymane just go poking. Varian looking for a kill. Greymane goes in, but really nothing coming out there. And good defense on the side there. We're still in a team fight here. We see a taunt come out. Varian gets rooted. We see Pyroblast come out, and nobody's going down right now, but Hog Wild doing its thing. Maybe looking at Varian kill, but nice stun. Lockdown, and we see the Hogger go down, but not before Immortal starting to pound in here. And we're looking
my goodness.
Out there, and we're going to see a game 3 coming in, Dax.
Woo!
Well done with Baby on board.
Holy smokes, what a combo there. We saw the Twilight Dream and the root, and then just the immediate gust to just disengage that blow up comp coming out from the side of Sky5 there, and to make sure that they won game number 2 there. And yeah, like us, we are excited. I see it in the chat. This is one heck of a series. We get a game 3 here. I'm super excited.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I gotta say, Dex, I don't know how you can call those. That is exhausting right there. I'm parched, need some water. That was just a really a fun engage there, and really a good focus on just making space for we'll call him the Immortal to do its thing and just start poking down everything. So really good job on the side of Baby on board.
Yeah, and that's the patience part of it, I think, right? So they did the macro thing. They stayed caught up in the XP soak, which is why soaking is so important. They were down, I think, at 1.12 to 1 kill, 12 to 2 kills, something along those lines, and it looked pretty grim for them. But I think we mentioned once it came to level 10, right about the mid game where Varian starts tailing off, Varian blow up comps starts to tail off, and then they really felt the rhythm. And I think it was just one Immortal after another. And we really saw the genius of the draft coming out from the side of Baby on board.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I no other way to say it. Getting kills and running the gang squad is fun, but if you got, like I said, you got some dedicated soaking here and really keeping them leveled up there, it's just a patience game at that point. You take a few hits on the chin, and then after that, it was just a lot of good. I don't want to call it a domination there, but probably the last 5-6 minutes, Baby on board they played their game, and Sky5 really had no answer to them.
Yeah, I agree. So let's take a quick peek here at the talents. We did mention the Emerald Dreams. Just seems like a really just overall overpowered talent currently, but I'd like to see that particular one there as well. Falstad getting that light little rework, so interested to see this. I don't play a whole heck of a lot of Falstad myself, so I would assume that I think you play a little bit there if you want to comment on to that build a little bit.
I don't play that build. I go the cheeky broken lightning shield build here at the moment with the W. So, but I think right, this is more the standard kind of auto attacky build here that we see out of Falstad at the moment, and I think it does its thing. Got a little bit of self sustain there. Got a little bit of everything to do its work, and I don't know where the damage is at, but we see a little over 50,000 coming out on the Falstad from Coffee there. So, what they were doing, it worked out really well for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, so let's jump out of here, jump back to us. Let's take it. Looks like the lobby is up and ready here. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this one. And then we'll take a peek on where we are heading here into this map while we get into the lobby. So game number 1 was picked by the side of Babies on Board with Sky5. Go ahead and take that one. Game number 2 was the same set of circumstances, just other teams. Sky5 opted for the map pick, and we had the winner of Baby on Board here. So heading into game number 3, this map was picked by the side of... Oh, shoot. Sorry. First team draft 2. Nope, I am sorry. So it looks like this map was picked by the side of Babies on Board, and first pick, opting for first pick, will be Sky5. So let's see if it holds true. The opposite team of the map pick seems to be the winner this evening so far. So let's see how this one pans out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, really, really great games here so far. I think this one will be a little more interesting to see. It's, Curse Hollow, a huge map, right? So I think we're going to see a lot of macro play here, a lot of macro pressure, camps pushing, boss doing its thing there. Globals are always a, good priority if you're running that style on this map. So potentially look for a Falstad pickup or Falstad to Hawk Brightwing pickups or bans here on this map. I think those might be a little more prioritized. But if we're feeling cheeky, I love me some TLV and also some Abathur on this map as well. So a lot of good options to play through on Curse Hollow here. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I'd give my firstborn to see an Illidan on this particular map. But let's see, Fire Flash in the chat. Who were the favorites going in? So quickly as we get set up here, so I will pull up this beautiful standings that we have here. So Sky5 currently sitting at 14 points in second place, but Baby on Board hot on their tails with 12 points, sitting in third place, but both teams taking a map here. So we are looking at 15 points and 13 points respectfully. So I guess you would say Sky5 was the heavily favored coming into this one, but Baby on Board really putting on a show for us, and with a win here in game number 3 could look to pull ahead. Or at least tie it up.
Yeah, no, I think right, both teams are they're playing really, really well here. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a depending upon how this goes on how the early game goes. Right, I think game 1 we saw just an absolute domination from Sky5 here with the Garrosh and the pick comp style going with that. That play with the Anduin maybe. So in game 2, I don't think it was as oppressive right away per se, because it's just a lot less soaking that's happening when you're getting kills between BOE on the maps there. So they had a pretty good early game, but come post 10s, it was really just all about Baby on Board and kind of them doing their thing there. So I think this map will kind of come down to it's a little more stretched out. So I think we might maybe see another pick comp style coming out from Sky5 here that may kind of affect Baby on Board a little bit more so.
I think so. Fujin with the raid. Hello. Hopefully your cast was fantastic. Was it were you casting C, a Div C matchup? I think I saw. I might be wrong. I saw a couple great casters playing this evening, which is really strange for a Wednesday. Some really good games on deck. Usually Thursdays is the days. Usually most games in NGS are being played. That's usually the day to play. But thank you for the raid, Fujin. Appreciate you. Sky5 has the better record currently. Yes. Again, I swapped back to us there, but we can pull up the standings here again just to take a double check as both teams go ahead and get a stretch break, a pee break. doing their things as we head into game number 3 here. But yeah, to your point, we do have Sky5 with 4 dominations here, only dropping 1 map so far this season. And then, just, Baby on board, just keeping up with them, 2 dominations of their own, winning 10 games, has 1 game ahead. So getting maybe one of those flex matches done and out of the way. So Sky5 has the potential to pull ahead, I guess, maximum by 3 points here between these two if it doesn't pan out that way. So real close in between these standings. The divisions are really usually, there's a couple outliers where some teams maybe just, if it's their first time in competitive, it might be a little bit different. It does tend to be a little bit different than your standard Storm League, or some teams just get placed maybe a little bit low. But usually these divisions are pretty competitive, usually from top to bottom.
Yeah, no, and I mean, we see it even through all the way, like I said, down in Divi, all the way up through the Heroics and Storm League, right? Where not necessarily everyone's necessarily just bad. We have a lot of good teams that have been playing together for a while. We have a lot of new teams, but a lot of these maps are matches I've seen more so than I think I've ever watched in the past couple of years of doing NGS. A lot of competitions coming out and a lot of good teams in all the leagues here. So a lot of good stuff coming on. But yeah, to your point here, both these teams, even at the 2-3 slot, they're both pretty close, and I think we're seeing a really good evenly matched team here, macro and team fight wise. So if anything, I think we're lucky to be here and watch some good matches today.
Absolutely. So we are getting some of the R's out here in the chat, but yeah, just to bring it back on into the draft here, I don't know necessarily if a pick comp is the way to go. I think if Sky5 picks another pick comp, I definitely think the macro game is far better on the side of a Baby on board, but not that they can't, not that Sky5 can't do it. We just haven't seen it yet. They've just been able to kind of win some team fights and take advantage of it there. So here we go, casters. I will let them know. But as we head into this one, yeah, but to your point, I expect maybe the Tracer ban, it did get through. They did lose it. So maybe that's the sign of the times there. So Tracer can stall as well. So probably, I would assume, probably the same bans as game number 2 outside of that Tracer. I think they get rid of the Tracer ban. Or they get rid of Tracer.
Yeah, for sure. That was, again, I think Mockery showed why that hero is banned against him. He just, just did some work on the back line, really good poking, and then, I think we saw him just, really kind of go nuts there at the end with abusing the Tracer play there. So, yeah, I don't suspect we see that coming back out anytime soon.
No, I mean, that will make for a quick, a 3-man with the Tracer, but they would have to opt for it. This isn't necessarily a great Tracer map, I don't think, because a lot of, at least they could go for the Sonya. I like Sonya on this particular map, where they can peel, and she can kind of catch Soak a little bit in the lanes if she has to.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But alrighty, here we go, heading into game number 3.
Always this awkward calculated time we were waiting for the band to pop up here, Dax. So I guess we're waiting for this. I think what do you see come out for picks on either side here?
So it seems like the Uther still seems to be the contested pick in this series. Maybe we do see it banned, but I don't think I hate Uther gonna go ahead and swap sides, but Uther 0% win rate in this series here between these two teams. So there is that Tracer ban. So it looks like Mockery will have to find a different hero to play, which he has a great pool. We saw Sylvanas in game 1. Does play Hanzo, really great on this particular map, as well as Sergeant Hammer. But we will see that Diva ban can go ahead, not let Liddell play Diva the rest of this series.
Yeah, nope. Two good Overwatch bans coming out here right away. So we'll see what comes out next here. Do you think maybe we'll see a Malfurion ban coming out again here, Dax, or coming out to begin with, or do you think he's not quite at the point where that's necessarily a worryful ban?
All right, and the Cassia band gonna come out this time. I don't hate that band either, or that band either. I think Malfurion was really. I think the Malfurion was really good. Maybe they opted to take it themselves, or maybe they just run a dive comp. I mean, that's the thing, or like extreme burst. Malfurion does tend to. Okay, so Chromie did. They didn't opt to ban the Chromie this time. We're gonna have Furl go ahead and first pick the Chromie.
And right away locking in on the side of Baby on board, we get Mockery and Hanzo, and Kyle sticking true to this game, getting a 3-peat with the Hogger coming out.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Just doing a great job clearing those lanes for the team, providing that soak, keeping his teams in it, and then when it comes to the late game team fight, kind of dive in there and just sustain for days with that Hog Wild and just that displacement to put the enemy team backline into the front line.
All right, and Tychus ETC coming out. So a little bit of a change there, but ETC kind of in a weird spot right now. It feels like I haven't seen him much, but again, that's kind of down in the depths of our competitive play and down there, and even a quick match or Stormblink. So I'm kind of excited to see a ETC pop out of a match today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to your point, I think just ETC dies in the current meta. I think he's having a real rough time. But, picking up the Tychus, so we'll be able to do any sort of percent base damage onto Hogger and any sort of front line that Cav Guess wants to run here. But Chromie is going to be like a sit and duck there with the two other members of Sky5 that they have showing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Anaban comes out, and we see Fawcett as well. So one global down here at the moment, but still two good ones on the map in Dahaka and Brightwing. So the Anaban, right? I think that one makes sense. Chromie is disgusting right now anyway, but Chromie with the Nano boost is just basically ruins people's days a lot quicker than normal. So I do like to see that.
All right, absolutely. Gonna opt for that Mei. Has a great amount of disruption, and then out comes the Sylvanas. And that will most likely be coffee on Sylvanas. I mean, they could swap there, but the blinds are going to be able to come out from the Mei to kind of disrupt that Tychus's damage. And, both Hogger and Mei can jump on the back line to kind of disrupt Chromie.
Yeah, absolutely. So, seeing for healers out here, we see Stu Cobb, my man. He comes out here, and a Samuro coming out from Lydell. So, interesting pickups there. Definitely assume the Samuro is going to be the offlane, but Stu Cobb with that lurking arm, he's got a really oppressive kind of self-healing, knock out some damage built here. So lots of options, but no real good counter for any sort of lockdown there. No cleanse coming out from Stu Cobb. So the best he can do is a lurking arm there. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, no real hard CC outside of the ETC, and then Stukov does get the root. And then I guess Chromie has it at level 8 because she's a cheating hero. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit tough here. So I think, Mei and Hogger are going to really have to control these team fights.
Yeah, for sure. And then Brightwing, I mean, I'm not surprised by that. It's, even with a little bit of a tune down on her teleport in and kind of adjusting the healing at 13 and fixing that so you can to cast that and teleport right into it. Still a really good hero, really good sustain, healing for no real cost, but hanging around for 4 seconds around her. So a good pickup here on the side of Baby on board.
Prepare yourself for
I think
battle.
so. Gonna really just be able to counter that mosh pit, I think, with a lot of the heroes that they do have. So maybe we'd see a stage dive game. But here we go, game number 3. This one is for all of the marbles. We have Mockery on that Hanzo, Kaiberries on the Brightwing, Tarask on that Hogger, Coffee doing his thing over here on that Sylvanas, and Cav Guest on the Mei.
Perfect. On the side of Sky5, we have Lydell on the Samuro. We have Pharrell on Chromie herself. Apple Mike back on that Tychus. AG Silver AG rocking the cow with ETC, and Alan by default playing my favorite Russian drinker, Stukov.
Is he a Russian drinker? I've never played StarCraft. I've never played StarCraft.
Oh, I just want to assume with the voice. Maybe favorite Russian Zerg, infected person. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to date myself, but it's been a while since I've played some Brood War. So, which I don't even think it was in the opening. It was introduced in StarCraft 2, but neither here nor there.
Oh, well, one of my favorite healers, really strong in the current meta as well. So it looked like that we were maybe opting for a little bit of Sylvanas Cheese, but did get sniffed out from the side of Sky5, making quick rotation up here to the mid lane to just continue to catch some of that soak.
And you know, not majorly a Chromie player, but looking at that, she's going her Dragon's Breath questing there. So normally I've seen the Sandblast or even the Vision plus the increase in spell damage. I think at level 1. So I expect to see how this plays out for her.
Yeah, it was Q build like almost directly after the rework. It was her pseudo rework, I guess per se. It was Q build. And then they buffed W, and W was the way to go, and they nerfed it slightly, and then that's when we saw that transition. But going to be able to kind of, like, in these tight choke points around these tributes, that might be able to get a lot of stacks on that W.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, I'm excited to see this. We haven't seen Chromie yet today, and like we mentioned, he just feels one of those mages that are just, it's so unique, and no one really does what Chromie is able to do right now with all the stalls, the burst damage coming out, and just the potential insta-kill. So really nicely done. And yeah, we start seeing some camps come out here on both sides of the team. So nicely done. Kind of good macro S coming out here right now. And yeah, I do like a little bit of the delayed camp on the side of Sky5 here. Let this push in mid, but they should have that pushing for objective here.
All right, so we see Baby on board going to go ahead and with their Bruiser Cam go ahead and try and siege up on this mid wall. Black Arrows does go ahead and get popped, making quick work of this bottom tower. Should be able to take care of that one as well. Great snow or blizzard coming out, going to go ahead and stun 2 members with the double blind there as well. So getting a pretty early wall is the side of Baby on board. We do see the Wraith from Sylvanas there be able to sneak out of there from the tips of her shoes there.
Yeah, it was really nicely done, and just I think that was probably some spamming on Coffee's part there, but it worked out really nicely. So a lot of work done there on the side of Baby on board with Sylvanas, just making sure working that wall and the 2 towers there.
All right, so it looks like Hogger is not going to be rotating down here. They are well on their way to 7s. They will try and probably, I would assume, try and poke this if they can. Kafkas finds himself kind of caught in the backline, tries to icing his way out of there, but not able to catch over to Brightwing. So out comes that Chromie damage. Just, kind of need to be careful just where you step when you're facing a Chromie. But great stalling coming out here from the side of Baby on board. They do lose their tank, but they do catch 7s. So great double soak by Tarask here. To catch mid, heading back up to top.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, D Nasty, I gotta say, Stukov's my man. I'm gonna play him much anymore in our in our game here. So definitely love that. We see Stukov kind of going slap, and sorry, May, you're gonna be out of the game here for 10-15 seconds.
Alrighty, so bosses should be up and available here pretty shortly. Let's check this position here. Badell is going to step up here, but Apple Mike waiting in the whims here, looking to maybe catch Tarask out of position, but that's not going to happen. Excuse me. So Apple Mike going to rotate back down here. Ping's coming out, seeing Apple Mike rotate down that way.
Squabbling.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Chromie down there just kind of harassing Brightwing, looking at that. And we're going to see, Cheater Chromie get her, her 10s here pretty shortly. And that may make the difference in this this next tribute here.
All right, so Kavgas just taking a bunch of chunk damage from that Tychus. The ice block does get popped, but the rest of the team is here. Out comes the clones from that. It is going to get body blocked in between 4 members, I guess per se 5 members. Math is hard, but that's the power of Samuro.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, good response, Baby Ward. They just said, we'll get these 2 away here, but we're going to get as much pressure as we can.
All right, and the great back from Coffee there. Would you see Kai Berry's going to go ahead and step up here in the top lane with that Hyper Shift just to make sure that Coffee is well on his way. But make this hard rotation down here. It makes me believe they're probably going to head to the bot boss.
Yeah, and I like that call there itself. Even with that, again, and get a little extra work from Sylvanas, but we do see Sky5 sniffing that out and saying, you know what, you're going to take a boss. We'll do the same thing here. So nicely done on both teams here, kind of looking to put pressure on both these on the tribute here.
Yeah, absolutely here. So I do like that Brightwing and May are in the mid lane looking to get their teams level 10 before this next tribute. So both teams will go ahead and get the boss, but really positioning themselves to not let boss and and curse be available, but they have to make that quick trek about 11 seconds from bot to top lane, fully mounted, undisrupted by those stupid ranged minions that just throw their arrows at you that dismount you. If you
absolutely. And you did see Sky5. They didn't have 10s quite yet, so I thought they might be giving, but we do see 10s come in right away there. So we're going to look for our first big team fight. Nice wall misses there, but Hanzo Eric comes out, does hit Tychus on his own. Apple Mike's looking a little bit in trouble there, but we see Sky5 come in. ETC kind of fends that off, and a good defense there. A couple holds down for Baby on board, and nothing used yet for our other guys. And we did see Sky5 take that. We do see Moshpit coming out. We do see May go down. Promi's doing her thing, blasting everyone, and then we drop Hogger and Sylvanas go down on this. Boss pushing top with Curse. This is not good news for Baby on board here.
All right, and down goes Brightwing. That is a 4-for-0 trade. It is only Mockery left with no mana. This curse and a half-healthy boss. I think this is potentially a keep. I don't think it's the game yet, but unfortunately Cursed Hollow, like Brax's holdout, lends itself to be a very snowbally map. But out comes the Ice Wall, is going to connect onto two members. Out comes the Blizzard combo as well. We do see Apple Mike is going to dash out of there, but out comes the Wailing Arrow, the slide out onto May. Unfortunately, that slide from ATC is just detrimental. Out comes the Draken Laser Drill, going to be able to pressure Coffee back a little bit. But again, they will back away, not stay too long, and get, as we see some teams do in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And nicely done. And that's just that, some of that power Stukov there, silencing out. May's not able to do much when you're not able to hit buttons and you're silenced, and ETC capitalizing, sliding in and saying, no thanks, May. You're staying in this Stooky Dookie silence here for a little bit longer.
Absolutely. So a commanding lead already. So that is one keep down already. Now losing the bot 4. We do see the invade coming on. 13's just around the corner for the side of Sky5. But they're gonna back away. But they do need to keep Baby on board needs to pay attention and to the camp up here in the top lane, looking to get some damage onto the core.
Yeah, and I do like that. We do see Temporal Loop come out here. May's going to go slide, and the Ice Wall comes off, and a nice Ice Wall to zone people out. We're probably going to see Samurai potentially go down here. Stukov swipes out, and it looks like that's going to be all we lose here so far. But good patience and a really, really good fight on the side of Baby on board to kind of force that camp, and they come out on top on there, which is what they needed to kind of start coming back in this game.
Yeah, that was an amazing Ice Wall coming out from Cam Guest there in that tiny little choke point. Like I was worried there that the Hog Wild wasn't going to get as much value as it should have, since it's a stasis effect and they kind of get taken off of the map. But it worked out pretty well for them. They only did secure one of the kills, but they stopped the invade of their camp, and they're going to be able to get some more map pressure here. So in comes Cam Guest. Not going to be able to rotate there in time, but I like that call out there.
Yeah, a good look. Definitely, 13's online there, and these choke points only benefit, May throwing out those Ice Walls. Less an area she has to worry about hitting, and, people don't have as much space to walk through there. So, I do like that look as well there, Dax.
Absolutely. So we do see lonely old Kyberries just doing the Brightwing things, catching that soak, refreshing the cooldown on that hyper shift at level 1. But in comes ETC. The rest of the team is going to rotate down here. I think Kyberries, the pings are going to come out, sniffs that out a little bit, does step up, is going to be able to get those nice Brightwing wiggles there with that spell shield for that extra speed boost there. Well done.
Absolutely. That's, bait were in there, but good job on Kyberry. Obviously, the team recognizing they were down there, sniffing it out, and her just being able to kind of, stall it out a little bit for the rotation.
Absolutely. So both teams at 14. This tribute necessarily doesn't give either team anything at all whatsoever. Out comes the Ice Wall from Cav Guest. Out comes the Blizzard as well to try and create some zoning. Out comes the Drill from Tychus to help with that zoning as well. Apple Mike is going to go ahead and start that channel. Out comes the Temporal Loop on to the May there. Not going to be able to secure any kill, but just a lot of poking. These teams have a lot of stalls coming out here. In comes the the blink heal from Kai Bears there to top off the remaining members, and out just comes this chunk damage from Chromie in these tight little pits. We did see the W quest at 1 go down. Out comes a Wailing Arrow. Out comes aside from ETC. The stun does come out, probably disengaging that mosh pit there. Pings are going to come out. The call is there that the mosh pit was probably going to come out. They did not get it on that timer. They will forgive or just let this one go. Just forget it, let it go. Lost the front line. This one really doesn't give anything. They already had their curse. It's only the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just really unfortunate, but yeah, I think that was a nice flyback on Hogger to interrupt that mosh pit there. Otherwise, I think we might have seen a few more members dead on the side of Baby on board from that.
All right, so we see Sky5 going ahead and take the top boss, and they're a little slow on the rotation down here. I think they do know that 16s are online. They will have to forego this bottom boss.
Yeah, no, definitely. And again, nice map pressure here, winning some of those team fights. Kind of getting people down here. It's opening up a lot of the map for Sky5 to go ahead and do their thing with it.
All right, and Cap's just, like I said, just scouting it out. They know that they are here, just trying to keep an eye on this boss, but they can't stick around too long as the boss starts marching his big old booty towards the core. The rest of the team does rotate in on this. Capguess does need to be careful. Lydell does go ahead and jump on Capguess to push him back. But yeah, all is well here. They will be able to defend their keep and probably their core as well from both these bosses.
Yeah, no, nicely done. Now, oh, we see, yep, Chromie come out, rewind. We might get see unstoppable, use the ult there. Ooh. Nice ult out from Hanzo, but that is one ult down there for 60 seconds on that arrow to kind of help peel for Cav there. So, nice bait out, I think, on the side of Sky5 here to get one big ult out of the way.
Yeah, I think so, and I don't know off the top of my head what the cooldown is on that Brightling trait. Where is it here? Didn't use it. It's 100 seconds. The Soothing Mist is 100 seconds, but I don't think it went down. But actually speaking of going down, down goes Kai Bears, down goes Capguess. This boss is at half health. We already have one keep down. They look to make it a second here, and post level 16s, out comes a Wailing Arrow to kind of disengage everything else. But we do see ETC gonna go ahead and slide out onto that solo mosh pit to secure that kill, and the series a 2-1 victory going over to the side of Sky5.
Yeah, absolutely. Nicely done by Sky5 here, recognizing the boss out. A few quick kills there, and it's just a really good plays all around on this one, kind of reestablishing that macro game, and it led them to a really convincing win here in game number 3 in this match.
Yeah, absolutely, and that one's a little bit tough. It just kind of, I think, after that boss fight there, it just kind of got, and they were able to get cursed. They kind of got caught up, I think, in that team fight there a little bit, and no one was able to cancel that channel from the Chromie there, and it just kind of snowballed from there. They lost the fort, they lost the keep, and just unfortunately, it's just one of those maps that kind of gets out of control.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've all been on both those sides, right? Where the snowball's gone good for us and also gone really bad. And unfortunately, this one was just one where, they got a little bit behind. And, like you said, it's hard to play the game when you're behind, Stukov silencing everything. And it was really good plays all around on the side of Sky5 here to kind of reestablish that dominance and taking back game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. But Baby on board couldn't hold their heads high. They took the game off of a team that only lost one game all season, so they put that check there. They make it 2 games, and hopefully we could see more from these 2 teams because this is one heck of a series, really back and forth, and it could have gone either which way. I think in either game, but yeah, just some really solid drafting coming out from the side of Sky5. I think tonight. Yeah,
no, absolutely.
All right, Sneaky Glades in the chat says, "What do you think of taking Ice Wall versus Snowball? I think Snowball could have been a really good disengage for them." Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I think with Ice Wall, it allows a little bit more of the combo potential, right? So usually with the maze, you put up the Ice Wall, you put the Blizzard underneath it, and then if you have the icing, you can kind of boop them back into that and kind of get the team kill, because they had the Wailing Arrow to silence them. Hanzo has just a great amount, has the follow-up stun and a great amount of AoE damage, as well as Hogger. So I think they were just looking to win that team fight there, and just unfortunately it just didn't go one way or another. But like, yeah, to your point, I think I like Snowball's really good into like a dive comp. So maybe if they went May in game two, now they did win game two, but into an Anubarak or the taunt variant going Snowball to kind of disengage any of that dive. Same thing with Black Hole from Tassadar and Gust from Falstad. So I think kind of in either one of those situations, I think you can kind of take any one of those heroes.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that 100% there. I think, I'm kind of wondering, with the Ice Wall, I know Hanzo out there kind of throwing out some damage, but I think Ice Wall maybe not as effective. You don't have a lot of necessarily heavy control follow up per se, but it really just depends. I think it's kind of the preference and what works best with the team on there, and I just feel like Ice Wall's a better setup tool than what Snowball or going Snowball.
Yeah, and then especially in this particular environment, it's probably really hard in Storm League, let alone even in comms, right? You call an alt, it happens, and somebody else pushes their button at the same time. But yeah, so here we go, taking a peek at some of this last minute stuff here, looking at talents. We will try and get a hold of the team, see if we can get an interview, and see how they are feeling after that one. But yeah, just I think standard builds across the board. Again, my mental capacity can't handle Samuro, so props on any Samuro players out there. I can't control one hero properly, let alone three. But yeah, just all around great play from both these teams.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and reach out here, see if we can get an interview. Div A. So if you have to pick a MVP for the series, I mean, do you have one? I hate to put you on the spot here, but
no, it's hard. I feel like everyone played really well in all games. There was, the teamwork was there, and I don't want to sound cliche, but this one definitely felt like a really solid team effort on everyone's part here. But if it were me, I would probably say it is AG Silver. On there when I think the tank plays are really stellar, and all the games themselves, but definitely the coming out there and really setting up his team. I love to see someone setting up my Stu Cobb personally, and that's what stood out for me here as well. So I'd have to throw it that way, I think.
Awesome. All right, so we do have an interview. Looks like we do have Liddell coming in to lobby number 1, so we'll hop over there and chat with them for a little bit.
Sounds good. See you there.
All right. Alrighty, we have Liddell from Sky5. Congratulations and GG on your 2-1 victory. How you guys feeling?
Good. My hands are still shaking a little bit, but it was a really fun set, and thank you for casting.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a fun one to cast. I know there was a little bit of just some hype coming into this one, the 2 and a 3 seed, the upper part of Div A here. But yeah, it was a great series to cast, a lot of good team fights. I'm happy it went to game number 3, which, everybody wants to see a game number 3. Yeah, so I guess, Punisher, do you have any questions to start us off before I start rolling into the particular games?
No, I did. Go ahead and take us through this, Dax.
All right. So I guess perhaps into game number 1, scouting a team like this, what was your guys' your scouting, your comms like, or just pre-draft heading into game number 1?
Well, I think a big advantage is I think they're kind of known a little bit as the streamer team. They have a lot of streamers on them, so there's a lot of tape you can look at for sure. For scouting, but they have played a lot of different heroes, like a pretty diverse hero pool. They like to do like a lot of off-meta comps, and so it was mainly just trying to isolate a few heroes that we really didn't want to face and be open to the different ways they could take the draft. Through scouting, they've done a lot of like off-meta tanks and weird stuff like that. So we wanted to just kind of build a heavy front line that could withstand any kind of combo that they're trying to pull off, and then counter engage, and that's kind of how we looked at it.
Yeah, so looking at back on the draft of game 1, you guys ran the pick comp with the Garrosh, the Cassia, the Tychus, and then that Diva. I mean, it's I mean, as we saw, I mean, Diva got banned from you in game 2 and game 3. Just with that Ando and Light Bomb combo, you guys did a fantastic job, with that re-engage for sure.
Thanks. Yeah, that was. I think we executed that game. Of all the 3 games, we executed that one closest to how we intended it in draft. So, yeah.
Yeah, you were able to take like the kind of like the sustainier fights to them. I mean, I guess essentially, with the Uther, I think we mentioned it a little bit that they, wanted the fights to be quick, but unfortunately, you guys were making the fights quick, but just in favor of you guys, to them. So just real good drafting on your guys' part there.
Thanks.
Any other questions from you, Punisher, about game number 1?
Yeah, I guess the only one I have, and I kind of marked this down, that felt like throwing the tide, was the map invade. So I guess can you just kind of walk us through the kind of the comms and the thought process on kind of how you guys decided to go ahead and just scout out boss and on the upper one and make quick work of the team there.
Yeah, I think the double boss on that map is kind of unique. It's kind of like Cursed Hollow in that sense. And we kind of saw them all showing in 3 lanes there. And we had our camp up, and we had Cassia showing. And so we felt, oh, well, you know what? If they're going to show in all 3 lanes, we're going to take advantage of that and kind of do boss quickly. And then if you just play your cards right, on Alterac Valley, if you can do boss, then another boss, and that can lead right into objective. And that can really stall out 2 or 3 minutes straight of just not fighting the other team and getting constant value through macro. So that's kind of what we were looking for, and then once they were showing in lane, we kind of took advantage of that.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess to that point, then heading into game 2, Battlefield of Eternity, not necessarily a macro heavy map. I mean, you guys went with the taunt variant blow up comp, and early game, you guys were just pushing as hard as possible. I think you guys had like a 10 kill lead, but I'm sure you guys are feeling good. But come level 10, it kind of started to sway the other way. I think once they got Sanctification, they got the Silence. Just curious on if you guys, and then it was very rare if Hogger even came rotated in. He was just soaking as much as humanly possible to keep the team into that game at that point. Is that just something you just kind of wanted to match that soak? You guys didn't necessarily have like a stereotypical offlaner to kind of deal with Hogger. Just curious on your thoughts on game 2.
Yeah, our pathway to victory was through kills, and we ended up getting a lot of kills, but the macro definitely worked against us. We were the game was going how we liked it. We were obviously a pit comp with Varian, and you have extra CC with Ufa. And it just, really the turning point we felt was we were just dumb, and we didn't realize that Tyrael had picked, or not that he had picked, we assumed he would pick, but that he didn't have a Holy Ground, I think it's called, where he can deny area on a camp. So we're like, oh, they're on the back foot. Let's take that bruiser. We got this. Easy. And then he completely denies the camp, which is a great play by him. And we're all pushed off, and we're all kind of going like, huh. We probably should have thought about that. And then from there, I think they got a pick, which turned into objective. And then we were kind of on the back foot, and because we didn't have that macro soak, there was really no catch-up mechanic for us unless we got kills. But they were all such damn sneaky, slimy little movement speed characters, and we couldn't get the kills we wanted. Like we still got kills, but it wasn't like a wipe. It wasn't 3 or 4 kills that could really turn the map. And really, so they played that really well by kind of surviving our stun combos early game, and then once they got the macro advantage, we were kind of on the back foot there.
Yeah, I think I wrote down the Tracer. I put Tracer question mark in game 2, but I mean she does suffer into taunt variants into the Uthers, and you guys were able to lock that up in the 1-2. So the draft play looks like they fell right into your trap there, but having that fall stat to kind of disengage a lot of those blow up comps, because like you said, you guys were all in on that blow up, but unfortunately it didn't work out for you, and we headed to game number 3 there, Cursed Hollow, another macro style heavy map for you guys, and this one felt, I think of the 3, I know you said game number 1 felt really good, but I think game number 3 felt more more comfortable, I guess per se, for you guys. If you just curious on if you guys feel the same way.
Yeah, I agree. I think in game 3, just the way the drafts played out, there wasn't like a clear set pathway for victory for each team. We both had like the poke, other than the fact that they, with Brightwing, you could argue lacks some burst healing. Well, she has one burst, but once that's down, she lacks burst healing. So that's maybe a pathway for victory for us. But we both had kind of more balanced teams, and so we didn't really know what the pathway to victory was, other than just getting kills, winning objective, the typical stuff. And then we happened to get cursed and kill 2 or 3 of them, I think, as we got it. And it just kind of snowballed. So I think it definitely snowballed more than Alterac away from them. But that was more just like really capitalizing on a few kills around objective, which really helped because we also had boss pushing at the time.
All right, but yeah, absolutely. You guys got so much value with that first curse, not able to cancel. Now we were saying Pharrell, like the Chromie player. How do you pronounce that name? Is it Furl?
Furl, yeah. Just
Furl.
simple.
Okay, but yeah, you guys got so much value with that boss and that curse. I mean, you took a keep. I want to say you guys were level 12 or 13, I think, really early in that particular game, and they just had to keep a mind's eye on that core, which made, invade boss takes really easy for you guys as well.
Yeah, and once again, like Alterac, once you get a little advantage, you can go double boss and just really build on whatever advantage you built. Because I think late game we did our boss and then we positioned around their boss and we kind of played a game of chicken. Like, you're going to have to clear that at some point, and just having that threat of a second boss really allows you to kind of make macro plays like that and not have to fight them.
Yeah, absolutely. Punisher, any other questions for Liddell here before we get some shout outs and let him go back to celebrating with his team?
Yeah, just 2 really quick questions actually. So obviously after game 2, it was a bit of a rough kind of a rough loss there, especially late game when you guys were doing so well early game. So I guess how'd you guys kind of recoup and recover after that second game there? And then the second question would be, I with the Stukov and ETC, is that something you guys have kind of just always have available? Is that something you guys like, or do you guys kind of plan on, if you can get Stukov, really looking up for some good follow up, consistent CC with your tank?
Yeah, so for the first question there, I guess how we regrouped was, it was a tough loss in that we knew we had the advantage at some point and we could have won, but it wasn't demoralizing in the sense that we still had a lot more kills. And so it wasn't that demoralizing feeling of like, oh, they like completely outmatched us and we didn't get a sniff of any like damage or any kills. So I think for us, it was more just like, okay, we have made up 2 game plans here. We both executed them to varying degrees, but none of them like all out failed. So going in the 3rd game, we were still confident that if we built a good draft, we counted them enough, we could keep on and just execute and play really well. As for your second question there, yeah, I mean, I think ETC is just any tank main should have ETC in their back pocket, just because he's kind of been around the meta as long as I've been playing heroes. With the easy Q setup for follow up, and Alan is great on Stukov, but honestly he plays a lot of really good healers that was surprised aren't banned more often. So Stukov obviously a comfort pick, and once again also been in the meta, not so much in Storm League, but like more in competitive play forever. So that's just kind of a healer you always want to have in your back pocket for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll turn it back over to Axe, but again, good GGs to you guys tonight. You guys played really well in the series. So excited to watch you guys continue on through the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, so yeah, before we let you go, any shout outs for you and your team?
First of all, shout out to Baby on Board, the streamer team, for all the content they make and put out there. There's not a ton of content out there about heroes, so I definitely enjoy whatever people are offering up. Kyle Ferguson is specifically because I listen to his podcast, so that's really great content. Thank you guys for casting. I love all the casters in the NGS community. It probably makes the league like double the excitement value, just having all the casters. And then shout out to my team. put a lot of work in. We had really good communication today, and I think this was our best communication in the match so far this season. So hopefully that we improve on that. So thanks.
Alrighty. Well, again, GG's. Thank you so much. You can go ahead and celebrate with the team. And to Punisher's point, we hope to follow you along, and hopefully we get a rematch between these two teams later on in the season.
Yeah. Hope to see them in the playoffs.
Alrighty.
See ya.
See ya. Alrighty, Punisher. I will go ahead and give you a call back, sir, here in just a second. Alrighty, there is the man himself. Jump back over to us. We don't need to see my Junkrat skin. But yeah, Punisher, thank you so much. Been an absolute pleasure so far this season co-casting with you. Really coming into your own. You're calling some team fights now. Work
out the windpipes a little bit more for that one. So
yeah, like I said, my pregame cocktail really helps with the concentration, and you just got to go. But it gets comfortable. You are far beyond where I was at this point. I think I would still stuttering and not saying anything at all whatsoever. But again, I if you watch the VOD, I literally put your socials was no socials given. You're a private person, which good for you. Probably a lot less stress on you. But anything you want to throw out there before we send these fine people over to some more NGS action?
Nah, again, I appreciate the Dax. It's been fun kind of coming into my own, we'll call it a little bit this season. I kind of doing all these fun little spontaneous co-cats with you. So thanks for letting me be here and crashing your streams, man. It's always fun.
Of course. Good, sir. So let's go ahead and see who is playing here. But I appreciate everyone for coming in, the follows, the conversations in the chat. But I'm Dax _HOTS here and Twitter. I try and cast at least 3 games a week for NGS. I think Liddell hit the nail on the head. It's truly what makes this league go around. I know other leagues don't really necessarily have as many casts. I know Crush puts the time and the effort in to make sure at least 2 casts, I think, per team, minimally, like in the season. And, each season there's more and more teams. And actually this season there's more and more casters, and they're just out here doing a phenomenal job. So just appreciate everyone being here and supporting, your teams, your friends, your families, your loved ones, post teammates. But, just appreciate everyone being here, and we'll find somebody to go ahead and raid. But again, thank you, and until next time, we'll see you.